Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Dan Jurgens, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a giant electrified mullet. All right, kids. Welcome back to another episode, electrifying episode, well, not yet, of Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Superman's #1 fan from...
It's Tyler from the Krypton Report.
The Fortress of Solitude itself in Ohio.
Yeah. Always welcome to join.
And the Owl of Steel himself.
Hello there. Swooping back into Metropolis.
Looking for those biscuits.
That's right.
Coming for some vengeance.
Where are you, gangbuster?
Oh my! Oh, I'll wait till we get to the second issue tonight. So, favorite character of someone else's. All right.
Oh yes.
Because yes, kids, tonight we're going to cover Superman #11 and Action Comics #1. So we're going to start with Superman #11, featuring the first post-crisis appearance of a certain imp from the fifth dimension. All right, so Superman Volume 2, #11 from November 1987. The Name Game. Writer and penciler, of course, John Byrne. Inker Carl Kessel. Colors Tom Zayuko. Letterer John Costanza. And editor Mike Carlin. All right. Ready for this synopsis?
Is this the truncated one? Okay.
Oh, how
okay.
Mr. Mxyzptlk meets Superman. Boom.
That's it.
Yes.
Well, it does describe the issue's plot.
Yes. All right.
This,
so yes.
I will say that there was one part in this issue where I was like, wait, what just happened? I'm like, this makes no sense. And I was like, I'm going to make sure Phil explains this to me.
Were you talking about the very end?
Yeah, and then we have the great scene. Ladies and gentlemen, my lovely wife bringing me some nice hot tea.
Nice.
In the official Krypton Report mug.
I was going to say, he's drinking from his own cup.
What kind of tea you got?
Green tea.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
You're doing that too, Phil? Look at you. Synchronized.
That's it. I mean,
love it.
it's iced tea, but still, it's usually what I'm drinking.
I just had my water, and then I was like, I told her,
I want to live dangerously. I want some green tea.
I was like, I just wanted something warm, some warm tea.
Yeah. It's a good time for some hot tea.
I like it cold.
I usually do, but it just, with the cough and stuff, it's just nice.
Yeah.
I like this cover where it's kind of like Mixie and like kind of like walking out of the panel, like, you know, basically like out of that reality.
The cover was great.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it begins with a mysterious figure coming to Lois in the newsroom. He basically starts massaging her feet, and then, you want to? I've come to take you to lunch. You want to go out to lunch with me? And she's about to say that.
This reminds me of. I don't remember the issue of Action Comics, but I remember the cover as a kid. It reminds me of the one where, Matrix tried to be Clark, and was like, in purple and black, and was on the farm. I just remember the cover was like you saw part of the suit, and he came out with red eyes. He had like a beard and everything.
Oh yeah.
I had that. Like that was one of the earliest comics I had because I had a huge like box I got for my birthday of just a bunch of comics at the time.
Yeah.
And like that scruff looked like this dude was a Miami Vice Clark Kent, but it just made me think of that Matrix.
Yeah, that Matrix story was great.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, I can't wait to get there, but that's
I believe we're talking about
Roger's turn one.
Yeah, I believe you're talking Action Comics 644.
I'm horrible with numbers, so I know it's Action Comics. I just don't like
I
numbers.
think that's
Right,
the one with that great George Perez cover, right?
Yes, I think he does the interiors. I'm trying to remember. I think he does the interiors too. Hold on,
Yes, it's that one. Yes, it's that one.
yeah.
Yep. Oh, that one's so good. I love that issue.
Hold on, I think I got it here. Share. A lot of times I'll just like save it real quick.
That one's coming up pretty soon too, isn't it? 644. Where are we in that?
It'll be like not too long after the whole the exiled stuff.
The Exiles into Space. Yeah, it's right after that. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, because that's funny. Because Matrix like tries to impersonate Clark while he's away.
Yeah, and it does not go well.
No.
Anyways, this comic proves something, boys.
Tyler, that cover.
Yep. Yes.
Yes.
That was one of those that I had as a kid that just burned into my brain.
Yeah.
Like I got that box. I got a box of comics. That was one in there. The Batman Year 3s, the one that had like Ghost Robin. Like I remember all the covers. Like in the and also there was an issue of Batman with Nightwing dropping down from the ceiling. Was the first time I learned about Nightwing. It was my aunt and uncle just got me a huge, basically box of comics for my birthday, and that one always stood out to me.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah. That was one of my favorites. Yeah.
What we learned from this wonderful issue is the way to a woman's heart or a lover's heart is through their feet.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
And this dude looks a lot like the Beyonder from Secret Wars 2.
That's what I was gonna ask you, Justin. I was gonna be like, is this like a take on the Beyonder? Are they trying to do this because like he had like a white jumpsuit when he came,
and the same hair and everything. Yeah, I
don't know if like the Beyonder actually had more of like a Jerry curl, but it's close because
it's pretty close.
Tyler, when the Beyonder comes to Earth and takes human form, first he just copies Steve Rogers' body.
Yeah,
he just gives himself like a black Jerry curl on top of it. So
yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna copy Steve Rogers' works,
I just wonder if that was like the start of a running gag because when we get the Crisis of the Crimson Kryptonite, like Mxyzptlk gives him Lex like red kryptonite. He's like, "Oh, I'm too busy in this other dimension. I need you to mess with Superman." And at the end, they don't show who he's fighting, but they show him. Mxyzptlk looks different. Justin, he looks what is it, purple and green. Like the Impossible Man, and like all you see is the people he's fighting are wearing like blue boots and like maybe like blue costume, but they don't show you. So I don't know if this was a sort of a running gag where it's like, oh yeah, he's like all these big cosmic figures and
he can be anybody he wants to be. Yeah,
he's all of them. Yeah,
right.
So that because I remember it like the first time I read this, I'm like, why is he dressed like that? Why is he like taking this appearance? Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that was their joke about the Beyonder.
I liked it was more like Miami Vice, but whatever.
I mean, it could be both.
It just makes me think of the episode of Friends where they go home for Thanksgiving. He looks like Chandler.
Hey, Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler, look. Rolling the sleeves up. He's like,
my favorite line that whole episode, he's like, you should tell her about our new song, Emotional Knapsack. Right on.
I think it was the year before they had the flock of seagulls hair, him and Ross. Next year they're dressed as Miami Vice. They're like, oh, God, we didn't look that stupid as we did before.
Flock of seagulls.
So basically, as Lois is about to tell this mysterious stranger, I have a lunch date with Clark. Then she's like, oh, I'll delight to have lunch with you, calling himself Ben DeRoy.
Yeah, that was weird.
I know. I was waiting for Ben Dover or something.
That's another reason I thought it was like a Beyonder dig because it's kind of like an anagram of Beyonder. So like,
because again, Secret Wars 2 was only like 2 years before this.
He takes her out to a restaurant, and this part always makes me laugh when they're in the restaurant. There's the dude smoking the cigar.
Oh yeah.
And his hand just suddenly gets engulfed in flames as he starts screaming.
I just like how the Budinsky.
Yeah, Lois is complaining about it. And he's like, "This is a free country."
Yeah.
And his whole hand lights up. Yeah.
We just casually walk out as this dude's screaming in agony.
Lois doesn't seem to notice. And then she's like, "Oh, my feet were hurting. Only hours ago, my feet were hurting or killing me. Now I feel like I'm walking on air," which they are.
I just love the bottom panel, the kid playing with his toy, pulling it, and then the next panel, you see the gorilla just up in the air.
Wasn't there like one issue of Fantastic Four, Justin, where like was it Gore the Golden Gorilla? There's
Gore,
like
I think you're right.
I'm like, is Byrne just like pulling like all these like like here's a Marvel thing, but no, it's not. Here's a Marvel thing,
He's like,
yeah,
no one will notice.
Yeah, he was having fun with it.
But yeah, this kid's toy comes to life. But yeah,
turns into an 8-foot tall engine of destruction.
Picks up a car. Yeah.
All I know is page 6 is where it got my attention. It's where the story really picked up.
The white sale.
Oh no, Cat's world-class lasagna.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm a man who loves his lasagna. Okay. When Janine and I first got married, like she'd make all kinds of like different kinds of lasagnas. And yeah. So when I was reading that and it was like world-class lasagna, I'd be like, all right, Cat, make some dinner. Let's go.
So if not the feet, then the way to get your lovers through the stomach.
That's right. Lasagna.
I mean, if you're eating a plate of lasagna while getting a foot rub.
Oh my
worlds. Yikes.
I mean,
you can have it all.
Yeah.
You actually can have it all.
I'm gonna type Janine a message right now. I figured out what I want for my birthday.
Hey,
some lasagna.
That's right.
We can't get both at once. Remember, Valentine's Day is coming too.
That's true. That's going to be coming up very soon.
But yeah, and then Jimmy's at this department store. There was this big white sale, and the lady's like, "Yeah." All of a sudden, like I guess what, like all the sheets and like stuff just started floating around,
floating away.
Sheets and linens and towels, and then all of a sudden, just a derby hat just appears out of nowhere. Like was Mxy like under the sheet, like he's like, like he's trick or treating in a Charlie Brown or something. He's just
right.
I mean, maybe. He's having fun in his fifth dimension, so he's like, yeah.
So I love, meanwhile all the towels and everything of it, floated back. There's nothing going on, but Jimmy's like, I might as well hit that signal watch. Something.
Yeah. Yeah, it isn't going to be long before this gets even weirder.
And yes, as Tyler said, as Cat's offering Clark her lasagna, yes, he hears the signal watch.
Yeah,
I'm betting it's real lasagna. It's not a euphemism.
Yeah,
okay. I'd be pretty mad.
It might lead to other things. But
I know. Look at Tyler. I mean, you're all excited for the lasagna, Tyler.
I'd be pretty upset. Like she come out, I'm like, no, that's not what I said. I said lasagna, woman. You said you were making lasagna. Okay.
I don't need no blue pill. Just give me some lasagna, woman.
Right. I didn't wear all this extra. Okay, you said lasagna.
But yeah, I love these burn. Just every time just like flies from
we get a great panel of him flying through the city. It's wonderful.
And then he does a quick telescopic vision scan, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, I don't think that yellow girl is what Jimmy was calling about." But
I just like the mom's shocked face.
I know
she's just like,
"Oh my god."
Yeah, because Superman grabs it, and then all of a sudden it reverts back to a toy. And he's like, "It was a living, breathing, full-size gorilla. I touched it, smelled it." And the kid's all upset. He's like, "Superman broke my toy."
Broke my toy.
Yeah, you need to calm down, kid.
Yeah, the mother's just like, "Yeah, we were walking. It was raining. We passed some guy, and this big guy in a white suit, and he was with a woman who looked like Lois Lane."
And this next part made me wonder how close this came to the movie Mannequin coming out.
Nice. See, I thought of that too.
That?
Yes, I remember that movie.
I wondered if it was 87 because the timing of this is just so strange where this mannequin all of a sudden comes to life.
Oh, wait a minute. Mannequin. Hold on. 1987.
Okay.
Now I have.
Released February 13th, 1987.
Oh, all right.
All right. Now I have Jefferson Starship in my head.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Justin.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
So so this Ben DeRoy asked Lois to marry him, and then she's like, "We hardly know each other, but yes, you made me the happiest woman." And he's like, "Wait a minute, where is she?
Wait a minute.
Why, she's much prettier than you." Looking at at the mannequin in the window. Love, he's like, "Look at those eyes, those lips, those." Well, just look at her.
Well, just look at her.
And then he's like, "We'll make a trade."
Yeah, because she's like, "That's a mannequin. It's not alive." He's like, "Not alive? Well, you're wrong." And he pulls her through the window, and now, she's. I love he gives her like a southern accent too.
Yeah.
Randomly.
That's so random, yeah. And then Lois becomes a mannequin in her place.
Yeah, because she's like, he's like, "Oh," and the mannequin says, "No, you can't just stroll off me. That'd be stealing." And he's like, "Oh, you're right." So while Superman's flying around trying to figure out what's going on, he hears a scream, and then not Macy's, kids, Stacy's department store.
Stacy's. Important difference there, folks.
Stacy's mom.
It's got it going on. But the woman's like, "The window display, I was supposed to change it," but Superman sees, yes, Lois has been transformed into a mannequin, but she's like, he's like, she's still warm, still alive. So he's like, what's going on? This first the gorilla, now Lois, and then tells the woman to call Maggie Sawyer's Special Crimes Unit, and he's like, they can rely on Lois.
Get him up there.
I like on page 13 where Mixie, basically Mr. DeRoy here, takes his mannequin and turns into a crash test dummy.
But here's another scream, and then this time it's a guy. His truck has turned into a bucking bronco, basically.
Oh, that would be fun to see.
And DeRoy, in true villain fashion, is like, finally, the man I've been looking for.
Yeah. Which is interesting that he doesn't know that Clark Kent's Superman.
You know what I thought would have been funny? I think that for some reason they didn't want to mention like pre-crisis universe. But it would have been funny if he would have showed up and be like, "Hey, Soups, I'm back," and Superman would be like, "Do I know you?" And then he would have
who are you?
It would have been funny if Mixie would have been like, "You know what? Oh, that's right. You guys had that little crisis down here. Yeah, you wouldn't remember me." He's like, that would have been so funny, and they could have teased stuff too. I bet you met Lex already, right? You probably haven't met Brainiac yet, huh? I mean, I just thought that would have been cool if Mixie would have remembered, but Clark's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
He would have been like, "Man, did they depower you?"
He's like, "You're a lot buffer."
Do to you?
He's like, "You're a lot buffer, but man, you're not as strong as you used to be.
You look more like Christopher Reeve."
Now that would be funny.
Oh,
funny.
He'd be like, "Who?" Be like, "Never mind."
You know what? I'm surprised they didn't have like a Silver Age or a pre-crisis story where it's like Superman met the actor playing him in the movies, and it was Clark Kent or Christopher Reeve.
They weren't that creative yet.
I swear they did somewhere there was an actor, but it was like before that, I think. So, but the Roy's like, "I don't need you anymore." And just like
shoves her
into a mannequin.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yes, we meet face to face." You would think
his true form.
You would think he'd be able to sense Clark, especially when he was in the Daily Planet City room, like almost right next to him.
Yeah, and know that he's not like everybody else in the room. Yeah, that part was weird.
So the Roy's like, finally we meet face to face, and Superman's like, "Ah, well, whoever he is, he doesn't realize his powers. He doesn't realize I'm Clark Kent." And the Roy says, "This has all been for your benefit, to lure you into the open, and now you're here." So yes, we see Mixie in his one of his form, the form we're most familiar with.
Yep.
And he says, "My real name would never translate into your clumsy Earth languages. All you need to know is come from a parallel dimension. You'd call it the fifth dimension."
The fifth dimension.
I've been observing your puny little third dimension for quite some. So he can observe the third dimension from the fifth dimension, but he doesn't know Clark Kent is Superman.
Yeah, that's weird.
I know.
Yeah, that's weird.
Are we thinking oversight or underplanning there, Johnny Burney?
He just didn't want Mixie to know he's Clark, but I was just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like this is like a denizen of Earth or something. It's not like it's.
Yeah, I mean, if he's worried that if he knows Clark's secret, he's going to blab it to the whole world just for funsies.
I mean,
who's going to believe him?
Eventually, he figures it out. I can't remember the specific point, but I know it's after death. It's somewhere after he dies and comes back. But yeah, and eventually, at some point, I think it's in the 90s. Yeah, it's like Mxyzptlk kind of knows he's Clark. I think it might be they're married. I can't remember. Or no, it's before.
Oh,
but yeah, it's. I don't know if they ever put it down, but yeah.
But he doesn't do anything out of pocket, like trying to reveal it to the entire world.
No. Of course, anytime a villain finds out the hero's identity, it's always, well, I don't want to reveal that. Then I'd have competition to kill you, and I don't want to.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And in his case, like, who would believe him? He's an imp from the fifth dimension. If he's talking about Clark Kent as Superman, people are going to be like, yeah, whatever.
And with his powers, he could just turn a normal person into Superman. So he'd be like, oh,
right.
yeah. Turn Clark Kent into Superman.
Exactly. I like how he says, I can make you old or fat or stupid.
Or
just
yeah.
And he's like, Durr. It looks like the Mad magazine person.
Yeah, totally.
I want a whole book of fat Superman.
Or just gives him the big head.
Or old Superman with the long beard. That'd be fun.
Rip Van Superman. I want I want fat Superman. That'd be talking about.
I'm surprised they didn't do he didn't turn him into like some of the pre-crisis stuff, when he got exposed to a red kryptonite or something.
Oh yeah,
have like an ant head or something.
Yes.
But yeah, he says all you gotta do is stop me. He says I'm a gamester, a gambler. All you have to do, I think you could probably some of the challenge my own world has lost. But all he says is all you have to do is have me say my name back, or say or use my name backwards. And he's like, Superman's like, wait a minute, you said your name wouldn't translate into any human tongue. So Mxyzptlk's like, yeah, you're right. He's like, I'll give you a sporting chance, and then. Yes, takes a typewriter from a billboard, makes it real, and it just types out, yes, Mxyzptlk.
Sounds like you just said the next video game is about to drop. Mxyzptlk 2000.
PlayStation. It's like, there you go, Superman. Mxyzptlk. From now on, I'm Mr. Mxyzptlk. Give me to use it backwards. I'll return to my home dimension. All the effects of my visit will vanish. But then he says, now it's time to get serious. So yes, he animates the Daily Planet building.
The whole building with everybody still inside.
Superman's like, I just see people like tumbling around in there.
Nice big smiley face. That's crying.
I know. And then I know it's worse than the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, because I mean that thing's made out of like brick and steel and there's all those people inside. And then Mxyzptlk's messing with them and just saying like half his name backwards. Oh, yeah, then the building reaches for a blimp, and when Superman moves it away, it starts crying and flooding the streets.
I love that.
So yeah, then Mxyzptlk's starting to write his name backwards in the smoke from his cigar, but then he like
he's teasing Superman.
Inverts the last letter, and he's like, "Wait a minute, that's the answer." Yeah. I love Mxyzptlk. You show yourself right now, or I'll chase this whole city into a pepperoni pizza. Superman brings that typewriter over, and he says, "I'm calling your bluff." He said, "You make all this noise about being fair." He's like, "But Mxyzptlk isn't a name. It's a name. A name is something that represents a person. It's not just letters. All you did was hit a bunch of typewriter keys at random." So, Mxyzptlk's like, I can do it again. And he does it. And he's like, wait a minute.
It's backwards.
He's like, I used my magic to make sure I hit the right keys, but you didn't. So long. He says, all right, Superman, you win this one, and I'll keep my word and leave, but I'll be back. Count on it. Oh my God! I read an issue not too long ago. During Exile, while Superman's off in space, he shows up looking for him, and he can't find him. So who has to duel it out with Mxyzptlk? Lex.
Oh,
Yeah,
That'll be-
it's basically like a break issue in the middle of Exile. Well, yeah, the Mxy shows up in Metropolis, and which I'm like, why couldn't he just find him in space? But yeah, no, he's like terrorizing Metropolis, and it's
I don't remember that one.
Oh yeah, trust you know, it's not pretty, but
I can't imagine. I can't imagine it turned out well. That's funny.
so yeah, Mxy disappears, and of course, everything he affected goes back to normal. So because
Of course.
Lois in the hospital, she's all normal.
Eh,
And we're told, Superman says, it'll be at least 90 days because some of the theoretical physics boys over at University of Metropolis say that that's the next time there will be an optimum transfer interface between us and the fifth dimension. How do we know this?
Yeah, that's some fuzzy science.
I mean, it's not like we're looking through a telescope and saying, oh, how far away is that star? It's like, how are we mapping the fifth dimension?
well, now that we know that it's there, we automatically know everything about it.
Well, I mean, it's theoretical, so I guess we're just taking our best guess.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, Lois said she doesn't remember anything after Ben and Roy walked in.
That's probably for the best.
And
Yes.
then page 21, fellas.
Yeah.
Lois shows up with some groceries, feeling bad about missing her lunch date. And who answers Clark's door?
A very scantily clad Cat Grant.
Yeah. And where does Clark just happen to be? In the shower.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, Cat gets to lie about what's going on. And she tells Clark it was the wrong person. And then Lois just drops the groceries off to a homeless man.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he's happy, but at the same time is like, yeah, I guess I'll eat this, 12-pack of raw eggs. And,
sure. Yeah, why not?
I can eat this celery and this loaf of bread. Everything else I have to cook on my non-existent stove.
Yeah. Maybe I can have somebody cook this for me.
He takes his own food to the soup kitchen.
Yeah. Do you guys mind throwing this through the fryer for me? Thanks.
But I remember first time I read this, I'm like, man, Cat was mean to Lois. But I mean, we've seen Lois be mean to Cat.
Lois has been mean to Cat too.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
It's a cat fight.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The women are ready to throw it in.
But we see who won, right? The one who's going to make the lasagna, right?
Absolutely.
Lasagna, Lois is back.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we think?
This one was okay. The ending, though, is bonkers, though. Like how he figured out how to get rid of him. It's just, I know.
He rewired the inside of the typewriter. Yeah, because it's basically just operated as a normal typewriter. So all he had to do was rewire the inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, okay. Yeah.
It was. Like I said, I didn't understand what was going on until he explained it. Then I was just kind of like, oh, okay, well.
Right. That's basically all you can say. It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, I felt like there was a lot of build up. With Mxy, and then it's Mxyz, and then it was over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What did you think, Phil?
Yeah, again, there's a lot of build up, and then it seems like it ends pretty quickly. For as big a threat as he is, it seemed like it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have probably given him at least another issue, but
this felt like it could have been a 2-issue story.
Yep.
They could have had a cliffhanger ending with Lois being the mannequin and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
Cliffhanger with Mxy revealing himself, and all of a sudden you're like, who is this? And then it's like, boom. And then we could have got a couple of page panels, of Cat in the kitchen making some lasagna.
Exactly. As a subplot while everything else is going on.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. We keep cutting away.
Apartment.
Yeah, we keep cutting away, and Clark's, fighting a Superman, and she's in Clark's. We see her let herself in. She starts making dinner. Clark shows up like, why are you here? And she's like, I'm making you dinner. And he's like, okay. Then he goes in the other room, and that's when Lois knocks on the door.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah.
A little dramatic tension.
Yeah, I feel like this should have been a 2-issue story. Would have been better that way.
But I mean, too, yeah, it's so. Yeah, I mean, well, they gave away the big reveal on the cover because
Yeah.
you see Mxy on the cover, so the big reveal wasn't that shocking. It's like, oh yeah. We know who he is. That would have been if they would have kept it like secret on the cover, be like, who is this mysterious, whoever?
Yeah.
Who is this Don Johnson wannabe? Find out.
Oh, if they really would have steered into that skid, Justin, they would like, who is the one from beyond?
The one from beyond. Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Who is this man?
Frank from beyond.
Sometimes I get a hankering for the old Mr. Mxyzptlk. Remember the original one with the bowler hat and the little suit?
Oh yeah,
because we didn't really see him for very long, and then we switched to the orange and purple suit.
Oh yeah, was he like a little chubby guy?
Yeah, yeah. He looked like he had stepped out of like a Peanuts comic or something. Yeah.
All right. Should we get to the Action Comics annual?
Action Comics Annual #1.
Which, kids, it's not on the DC Universe Infinite app, which for some reason I don't know why.
However, it couldn't be that. Why would it not be there? No, that can't be.
I know. I mean, sometimes if they have like a problematic creator, but again, it's Byrne writing it again, and Arthur Adams.
Adams.
Yeah.
And there was that other annual too that wasn't on there, the one with the Titano.
Yeah.
Maybe they just have a thing about annuals. They're like,
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, the Adventures one was on there, and then I think,
yeah,
I know Action Comics Annual #2's on there. That's like in the middle of Exile, but
look, there's nothing like reading an old comic book.
That's true.
With ads.
That is the best
for stuff like Chew Chalk. Where am I gonna get my Chew Chalk at?
Oh yeah, the Fun and Fruity 4. Doc Savage. All right. Well, all right.
Do you have a synopsis for this
one?
I
actually have a
okay.
Yeah. All right, kids, sit back because again, you thought that first one was wow. This one, yes. We got Superman with special guest star.
Batman, my favorite character.
Let's do this.
All right, Action Comics Annual #1 from October 1987. Skeeter. So it's saying Volume 1 Annual 1. So they had never had an Action Comics Annual until 1987.
That's what I was wondering. Is that true? This is the first one ever?
Maybe. When did they start doing annuals?
I thought they had some annuals pre-crisis, but maybe it was just the Superman book. I don't know.
I thought it was in the 70s.
Yeah, but I don't know. But yeah, that's so weird because according to this. All right, writer John Byrne again. This time pencils Art Adams, inker Dick Giordano, colorist Petra Scotis, letterer Albert de Guzman, and editor Mike Carlin. All right, kids.
Batman, my favorite character,
has traced a series of Gotham City murders to a small town called Fayetteville in South Carolina. He finds that the town is under the grip of a vampire and begins investigating. But because he's been working for 3 days straight, he decides he needs some help. He calls Metropolis and asks Clark Kent at the Daily Planet to get in touch with Superman. Superman flies to Fayetteville and consults with local law enforcement concerning the recent rash of murders in the town. He learns that vampires are responsible for several grisly deaths.
Batman, my favorite character,
finds a young girl named Skeeter who had been running from some pitchfork-wielding villagers. He tries to help the young girl, and she leads him back to her home. Her house is a ramshackle cabin, and inside are the desiccated bodies of her parents. The bodies have been there for over a century.
Batman,
my favorite character.
Comes to realize that Skeeter is the vampire that has been terrorizing Fayetteville. She tries using hypnosis on him and lunges at him, pushing him outside the cabin into some quicksand. As
Batman, my favorite character.
sinks, she leaves him for dead. Superman, meanwhile, begins rounding up all of the hypnotized living ghouls enslaved to the vampire. He corrals them all together and imprisons them inside of a makeshift barrier wall that he constructs from the earth around him. Skeeter encounters Superman, and the two begin fighting. Superman forgets that he is vulnerable to the supernatural. How do you forget that?
I don't know.
And Skeeter rakes her claws across his chest. She leaps upon him and prepares to turn him into a vampire.
Batman
Comes up behind them and impales Skeeter with a stake, destroying her. In the aftermath,
Batman
returns to Gotham City to take care of the remainder of Skeeter's progeny. He tells Commissioner Gordon that Skeeter, real name Ellie Mae Skaggs, became a vampire 3 days after the assassination of President Lincoln.
Ooh.
She has been terrorizing Fayetteville ever since.
Batman
Prepares a hammer and stake as he stands over the coffins of Skeeter's leftover vampires. All right, thoughts?
I think that's one of those books that would be like a really cool, like just animated episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when you're looking for like a 1-to-1 translation. Do
This
you guys
would make
think I
like
could?
a great Halloween episode?
You think I could send this away and still get these books at this price?
I would.
Maybe.
Oh,
Try.
oh, yeah, $9 for 75-cent books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way this opens with like her being hunted, or like, oh, we're on her side.
Yeah, you start to think that she's innocent and being
And then we
pursued
have-
by this wild mob for
Oh,
no
you
reason.
mean Mr. Peanut's biggest fan?
And then we
Oh
have
yes.
the dead
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah. Great artwork in this from Arthur Adams.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good. I love this.
But yeah, like I said, yeah, she gets the dead parents.
That was cool. I love her little shack in the swamp. It's great.
I love the way she attacks, gets up on Batman, and when he brings Superman in. Like I like the story. Like I like that it's contained. I like that you're not sure what's going on until we get to about page 32, where she really turns on Superman.
Yeah. She shows those fangs. Yeah.
And
Yeah, because I don't think that they've fought a lot of vampires before, like as far as especially post-crisis stuff.
Oh yeah, after Crisis, yeah, no, that's
We didn't really see hardly any vampires, did we? Like even in
yes,
Batman or like darker themed books, like
no, because they again after Crisis they were really grounded a lot of these characters. So yeah, I mean Superman really hasn't fought any supernatural. I mean,
Silver Banshee was really the only one that.
Yeah, but we haven't got there yet. So I'm saying not yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to remember when Batman figures out Clark is Superman, because I was like, why is he calling Clark at the planet? I'm like, I think it's coming up soon, maybe not yet.
Yeah, but they didn't touch it in the Man of Steel miniseries.
Yeah.
Or if he did, he kept it to himself.
I just wonder, did they not put this annual on the app, or are they afraid they're just like, oh, this, are they afraid that they think they were making fun of Southern people or something? Just like Skeeter, because of Skeeter. But I'm just like, because, she's education or whatever, but I'm just,
that stuff.
That's more along the lines of, she's been alive since the 1800s and probably didn't get a good education back then.
Yeah.
Or someone's just lazy and hasn't scanned it in. They're like, like no one will notice.
Yeah, but why why annual number 2 and not number 1?
I know that's what we'll just write them an angry email.
Yeah.
But hey, got some questions.
Come on, interns, get on it.
There can't be that many of these Action Comics annuals anyway. Because they didn't do them for very long, did they? I think there's only like 8 or 9 of them.
Is there anything you think wondering in the process? You know, of like updating the colors and stuff, or
I don't know. I was gonna say, don't tell me you can't find a paper copy. We all found paper copies.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It says 13 of them total.
Yeah.
I like I said, I like this issue. It's a nice little self-contained one and done. It's got Batman and Superman and Vampire. So,
yeah. And it wasn't linked to another story. It wasn't a sequel to another story.
I mean, it's kind of nice that it's supernatural because then they're both vulnerable to this vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she almost got Superman
with
she had him hypnotized with her mesmeric gaze.
So even though Superman has all the superpowers, they're kind of both on equal footing when it comes to this, she can hurt either one of us.
There was another vampire story that happened a couple of years later. I remember it was like a 2 or 3 part one.
Oh,
do you remember that? With Batman and Superman and the vampire would look like Count Orlok from Nosferatu. The old silent movie.
I like the cover, Phil. I think in the bottom left corner, where it says "Who watches the Watchmen."
Oh yeah. Yep.
I was like, oh yeah, that would be about this.
That was right around there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some, but yeah, just that art. Look at that.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's a great panel.
There, yeah.
With the fog around her, the mist. Yeah. And some great colors in this too. A lot of it takes place at night, so it's difficult to color that sometimes and make it look good. But was this Petra Scotese? Yeah. Yeah, she always does an excellent job.
But I love, the vampire scratches Superman. Then at the end, Batman's like, I'd get those scratches checked if I were you. He's like, maybe pour some holy water on them.
Yeah, just to be on the safe side. Did they ever do an Elseworlds where there was a vampiric Superman? That would be something.
I mean, they did do 12-issue DC versus Vampire.
Oh.
I had the figure on my shelf.
Ooh, that would be a good one to cover sometime.
They keep it a secret for a while. Then halfway through, they reveal the king of the vampires, Mr. Dick Grayson.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray! I don't think Ray has read that series, but he loves it because there's a panel just like Nightwing putting his fist through Batman. I told Ray, I'm like, Ray didn't send for feedback, man.
You'd love this, Ray. You don't even know it yet, but you'd love it.
Like when Lilith and I did that those 4 issues of Deathstroke where he like beats some Batman that one issue.
Batman, yeah.
Ray's like my new favorite character. But yeah, no, like I said, this was good. Again, good story, good art. Like Tyler said, self-contained. And that's I mean, most times that's what you get with an annual. Although I don't know,
as we got into the 90s, though, they started to deviate from that formula a little bit and started to get them more enmeshed within the crossovers that were happening, as we saw with like Bloodlines and Eclipso and all that other stuff. Yeah,
and like these days, like Marvel and DC, like they'll do an arc and then it's like concluded in the annual.
I mean, that really just happened. Like, we just got done reviewing. What's his face is.
Philip Kennedy Johnson, Superman, Action Comics. That's kind of how they tied up his run. His last.
They tied his run up in the annual.
But yeah,
I kind of like that though because the annual is usually double sized, so you have plenty of space to like give a nice epic send off to the story.
I like it, except what I didn't mind it this time, but like we joked before about that wonderful Bendis Rogel Czar story. Like it ends up being like resolved in like Supergirl's annual or something, like not even in the main Superman. Like it gets wrapped up in like Supergirl's book, and it was like a Supergirl annual or something like that. It was an off issue because I'm like reading the regular books, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what happened? So
that's the thing. Yeah, like Bendis will throw stuff out there, and then it's like it either runs out of room, or the pacing's just off, or
or it's a crap story and character,
or just makes personal bad decisions. Yeah,
or all of the above.
But yeah, again, we're in the era now. So in the 80s it was self-contained annuals, but like you said, Justin, then by the 90s we're getting the big events.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
As my daughter says, the old 90s.
The old 90s. Vintage.
I'm just like, wow. Thanks, Sayla.
Well, Tyler, our children think anything's old if it was in the 8 years that started with the 19, right?
Yes,
exactly.
We're ancient. Yeah.
Well, God, the year 2000 is kind of ancient to them. Again, my son was born in 2013. He's like, 2000. What?
Yeah.
Y2K.
Hell, Tyler, that old show, The Office, they watched.
Oh, I know. The old Office, guys.
It's a classic now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, heck yeah. All right. So, any other thoughts on these?
No, other than I wanted to see Arthur Adams do more Superman.
Yeah.
He draws a great Superman. I wish he had done more of that.
I can get behind that.
I like it. It's almost, again, both of these were written by Byrne, but you get like a different taste with this one because it's like Arthur Adams art and stuff, and get the inclusion of everyone's favorite character. So
Batman, my favorite character.
And this is only the second or third time that they've worked together post-crisis at this point, right?
Yeah.
So
we need to insert a Phil saying Nightwing, my favorite character, and then I'll do one for Superman, and Justin, you can just throw in whatever you want.
I don't know. I don't think Nightwing's his favorite, though. Is it, Phil? Or is it Green Lantern?
Oh, no. I like Nightwing better than Green Lantern now.
Oh, okay.
His name is literally Nightwing PDP.
Well, I don't like to make assumptions.
I like Dick.
I'm here for Dick.
We weren't going to say it, but we're just going to let you go with it, Phil. So
exactly. All right. Here I'm going to bring up the schedule for next time. Although I'm pretty sure I remember what.
Next time.
Oh yeah, and you're
we have another annual, don't we?
No, not yet. No.
We got Action Comics 594 and Booster Gold 23.
Yes.
Oh, Booster Biscuit is in the next
we got
one.
a Booster. Oh, yes.
Oh, there we go.
Crossover next time. Yes, Action 594 and Booster Gold 23. Because, kids, yes, you're getting 3. That'll be the last of your 3 episodes you get in February. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
An extra one.
Oh, yeah. Lots of good stuff coming up. Oh, God. We'll get the Millennium next month. Oh, God.
Yes.
Boo, Millennium, boo.
Boo. We've grown our way through that one, I guess.
Yeah.
We got this, Phyllis.
Oh, yeah. In May, we'll get the Action 600.
Ooh, yes. Love that one.
And I was going to say, I never get the Exiled by the. Oh, yeah. We get the Exiled by September and October. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool.
And and the last one of October. Yeah, we're going to get to that Action 644 by October. So.
Oh,
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. It's coming up.
October. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Before we know it.
When the sun makes its journey, and it will warm up and cool down again.
Yes.
All right. So, yes, kids, send us your thoughts on all those upcoming stuff, including next episodes, Action Comics 594 and Booster Gold 23. Both of those are on the app. All right. So, send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-882-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, buy some shirts, buy some cups, buy some phone cases, and of course, the Patreon, which again I've been promising, and yes, the Patreon and Lilith Hellfire are now more
vicious and brutal than ever.
Find it all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. It's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
I love it. I'm going to eat this up with a fork and spoon.
All right. Speaking of tasty shows, Mr. Tyler Patrick, where else can people hear you talking about Superman?
Find me over at Krypton Report, wherever your podcasts and social media choices lie. You'll find us there talking about Superman and all things DC.
I'm tired of knowing everything.
It's tough. It's a tough life.
All right. And now the king of podcasting, Bustin' the Owl.
Archduke of podcasting.
Yes, you can hear him here 2 to 3 times a month on Electric Mullet. You can hear him every week over on Marvel Tales with
Marvel Tales.
Different Marvel every time. Marvel Tales / X-Men Classics.
Yes, coming soon.
That's right. And of course, you can hear him once a month with me and Russell, either talking Azrael on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast. And of course, also once a month, Energon Universe, where the two of us and Russell talk all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff.
Which are excellent.
Yes. Especially that Cobra Commander, yes.
Oh, God, that's good stuff.
Cobra, la 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 la.
All right, Justin, but where else can people find you podcasting, King?
You can also find me at Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where Russell and I talk about the Incredible Hulk and the sensational She-Hulk 3 times a month. We also have a Patreon, so do check us out there. And you can also find us with the High Priest of Khonshu himself, Ray, over on Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast, where we talk about Fox's Predator twice a month. And you can also find me and Russell on Gorn, the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast, where we talk about DC's Demon, going all the way back to the 70s with Jack Kirby series. And last but not least, the Lost Library of Legends is still going strong. And by the time this episode comes out, there will be a new episode out about an Impact Comics title called The Jaguar.
Yes.
Going back to the 90s here, bitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's naughty.
Yeah, I actually tuned in the last couple seconds that last Predator and Prey episode as you guys were signing off. I'm like, and then you guys were gone. I was like, I don't know if that's great when we're doing that Batman Predator.
We discussed that during the episode, actually.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, what did he say?
We did.
He was like, no.
Oh, you'll have to tune and find out.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah.
I know anytime I asked him, he blamed it on you and Russell. I'm like, I know they're down for it.
Yeah.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. All the way from the 5th dimension to
the vampire swamps of South Carolina.
Exactly. Superman 11 was beyond amazing. All right, kids. Yes, remember next time we're gonna do some Booster Gold. I remember. Join us next time. Join us for truth, justice, and the mullet
way.
Batman, my favorite character.